And now, our feature presentation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting WMA Club meeting, and welcome to Chapter 5 or Chapter 5 of our Spring Break Workshop Spectacular. This has been a chapter I've been waiting for a long time to do. It's actually a remake of an old workshop that WMA clubs used to do, but way before I was president and way before, from the very beginning. So for some of you OG members who have remembered, WMA Club did a Fundamentals of Building and Maintaining a FICO Score workshop. For you, current members, you remember that we actually did a bonus meeting, not when we actually implemented the bonus meeting. We did somewhat type of that when I was president back in the spring semester last year. And we decided, why don't we have a remake of this workshop? And do not worry, we actually included some of the old stuff that our OG e-board made into this presentation, but we actually made it more flashy and more exciting. Eye candy, you know what I mean? But anyway, if you guys are ready, and I know I'm most certainly ready, let's get this party started, baby. All right. Let's get this slide deck up. Sure it's going. Happy Tuesday to everybody while we're at it. Happy Tuesday. All right, here we go. All righty, this actually might be our longest workshop we've done. So again, we usually try to make these workshops usually 30 minutes for a spring break workshop spectacular, but try to make it around 30 minutes max, so hopefully we don't go over. So here we go. All right, so we have a lot to cover today. We're going to talk about what is FICO Score and why is it important. We're also going to have bust of credit mints. We're also going to have 3 threat boroughs. Then we're going to talk about the factors that affect your FICO score. I will go through all of them in depth in this workshop. We're also talking about the FICO rating scale, the sources of view your FICO score. I'll go over all of them, like I said earlier, all the factors that affect your FICO score. Then we'll also talk about student loans, the debit cards and credit cards, also the difference between the both of them. Then we're also going to talk about first card recommendations. So what I mean by first card is first credit card. We're also talking a little bit about Snowball and Avalanche Theory. If you want a little in more depth about that, go to Chapter 2 of our Spring Break Workshop Spectacular. I go more in depth on those two. I'll also talk about which theory is the best, and I'll give you my Cliff Notes version of it. The tips to boost your credit score, and then finally we're going to wrap our day with our conclusion. So let's get this started. So what is FICO Score? Yeah, I know football season's over, but if anyone's watching the XFL, then yeah, my Orlando Guardians and my Las Vegas Vipers are not doing well. They are not doing well. I heard the USFL is coming back in April. So, yeah, for anyone of you Canadians watch Canadian football, very, very excited to watch that again. Very, very excited. All right, getting on with the workshop. So, what is FICO Score? So, FICO Score is a credit score developed by Fair Isaac Corporation, also known as FIC. Yeah, you do FIC plus O when you get FICO. Used by lenders to evaluate a borrower's creditworthiness and likelihood to repay the debt. FICO Score ranges from 300 to 850 and are calculated based on the 5 factors, which I'm not going to list them all right now, but I will talk about it in a little bit. And each factor is a different weight in the calculation of the score. So why is even FICO Score important? Well, it does play a lot if you do use a credit card. And I will explain that more in depth as you continue going through this workshop. So FICO scores are the most widely used credit scores by lenders in the United States. Now, I don't know what they do internationally. So for our members up in Vancouver, I don't know if they do it in Canada. For any of our members of Roxton in the UK, if you guys want to tell me what they are, I could do a workshop on them. But it's always focused in the United States, so sorry. They help lenders assess the credit risks of borrowers and determine whether to extend credit or approve a loan application. A high FICO score indicates a lower risk borrower and can lead to better interest rates, loan terms, and credit options. On the other side of that coin, a low FICO score can result in high interest rates or loan denials. So let's now bust some credit myths. Like the guys on Breaking Bad here, they bust the myths. I'm actually getting involved in that show actually a lot more. I'm actually starting to get into it. So we're going to have 5 myths. I'm going to talk about each of the myths and we're going to bust them open. So myth number 1, closing credit card accounts will improve your credit score. The truth is closing credit card accounts can actually hurt your credit score because it can increase your credit utilization ratio and shorten your credit history. We have the second myth, which is checking your credit score will lower it. That is actually false. Checking your own credit score is considered a soft inquiry and does not affect your score. It's only hard inquiries such as those from a lender or a credit card application that impact your score. Third myth, you only have one credit score, uno mas, one. The truth is there are multiple credit scoring models, and you may have a different score from each one. FICO and Vantage Score are the 2 common scoring models used by lenders. Fourth myth, your income affects your credit score. The truth is your income is not directly included in your credit score calculation. However, it can indirectly impact your score if you have a high income but struggle to make payments on time. The final myth, only debt affects your credit score. The truth of that is basically, while debt plays a significant role in your credit score, other factors such as a payment history and credit utilization can also impact your score. Having a mix of credit types could also positively affect your score. So let's now talk about the 3 credit bureaus. There's 3 of them, Trace, which are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They collect and maintain credit information on consumers, including credit card usage, loans, and payment history. Lenders and other companies that extend credit reports from these bureaus to assess creditworthiness and make lending decisions. It is important to check your credit score from all 3 bureaus to ensure that your information is accurate and up to date. You can obtain 1 free credit report from each bureau annually at annualcreditreport.com. This is no promotion for the WMA Club. We are not affiliated by them, but we just put that there for our members who wants to check their credit score. So you guys are now probably wondering, wait, well, Jack, what does the FICO rating score really mean? Well, that's basically our next slide. And I wonder if we can give you guys a visual. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, so basically, I don't know what this data is from. I don't know if it's from 2000, because I think when we did this presentation, I did take it from the old slide deck. So these numbers, like the percentages, they might be outdated. I think this came from 2020. So again, we're not really going to consider this, but we are going to talk about each of these. So if your FICO rating is 300 to 579, you have a very, very poor FICO score. 580 to 669 is a fair FICO rating. 670 to 739 is a good score. 740, 799, very good. And exceptional is 800 to 850. And basically, 67% of Americans have a good FICO score or better. So basically, this right here, all the way up. So anyone doing here, not good. So I did talk about factors that affect your FICO score, but let me talk about them, just briefly talk about them right now, and then we're going to go more in depth when we get to them. And that is basically the payment history, amount owed, length of credit history, the new credit, and the credit mix. So obviously, the credit score factors, 35% goes into payment history, 30% account owed, length of credit history is 15%, new credit is 10%, and credit mix is also 10%. And there are numerous sources to view your FICO scores, like FICO score providers. FICO itself offers FICO score products directly to consumers, as do other companies like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, the 3 credit bureaus. There's also credit card issuers. Many credit card issuers now offer free access to your FICO score as a benefit to card holders. And finally, credit monitoring services. Companies like Credit Karma, and you've probably seen them on commercials. I think they might have done an ad for Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they might not. They did not. I thought I saw an ad for something like that. Credit Seat, Sesame, and My FICO offer credit monitoring services that include access to your FICO score. All right, now we're going to talk about each of the factors that affect your FICO score. The first one, payment history. See, you got payment, you go to the world history. Try to make it a little fun for you guys. All right, so payment history is the most important factor in determining your FICO score. Payment history is the most critical factor in determining your FICO score. Obviously, like I said earlier, I don't know why I said it twice, but not going. Payment history affects 35% of your FICO score. Later missed payments can significantly impact your credit score, so it's essential to make sure all payments are made on time. Like I said in chapter 2, and I'm going to say it again, one thing you need to take home from this presentation: time management is key to success. Please Start building those right now. Start. And there are tips for maintaining a good payment history, like setting up automatic payments or payment reminders to avoid missing due dates. We all have phones. They basically will set them up for you. It's our generation. I know. Make at least the minimum payment on all accounts by the due date. Communicate with creditors if you cannot make a payment on time to see if they can negotiate a different payment arrangement. And then finally, consider paying more than the minimum payment to reduce your overall debt and improve your credit utilization ratio. The next factor we're going to talk about is amount owed. So amount owed affects 30% of your FICO score. The amount you owe on credit accounts, such as credit cards and loans, impact your score. This includes your overall debt and credit utilization ratio. And for keeping your credit utilization low, you should use these tips. Keep your credit utilization ratio below 30% by not using more than 30% of your available credit. Make multiple payments throughout the month to keep your balance low and your credit utilization ratio in check. Consider opening a new credit account to increase your total available credit and decrease your utilization ratio. And then pay off high interest debt first to save money and to improve your credit utilization ratio. Next, we're going to talk about the length of credit history. See, got a calendar, get the hourglass, the length of time. So length of credit history affects 15% of your FICO score. The length of your time your credit accounts have been open is also a factor in your FICO score. Generally, the old saying is this: the longer your credit history, the better it is for your score. Importance of keeping old credit accounts open. Closing old credit accounts could shorten your credit history and decrease your credit score. It is important to keep old credit accounts open, especially if they have a positive payment history and low or no balance. And some tips for building a longer credit history: open a credit account as early as possible, start building credit history. So for example, or I think say that. Water break. For you college students, I highly advise, and if you do not have this, get a credit card. Get a credit card. And if your parents say no, get a debit card. Just to start you out. Keep credit amounts in good standing and make payments on time. Use credit amounts regularly but responsibly by making small purchases and then paying them off in full each month. Avoid opening too many new credit accounts at once, as this can lower your average account age and hurt your credit score. So now we're going to talk about new credit. See, we're building a new plan, new credit. New credit affects 10% of your FICO score. When you apply for new credit, such as a credit card or loan, it can impact your score. So really, if you apply for a credit card, it's already going to impact your FICO score like that. How opening too many new accounts can negatively impact your score. So opening too many of them in a short period of time can make you appear riskier to lenders and negatively impact your credit score. Each credit application also results in hard inquiry on your credit report, which can lower your score. And for managing new credit applications, here's some tips you should follow. Only apply for credit when you need it, and space out your applications to avoid multiple hard inquiries on your credit report. Research and compare credit options before applying to find the best fit for your financial situation. Be cautious of opening multiple credit accounts at once, even if you're offered sign-up bonuses or rewards. If you're shopping around for rates or terms for a specific loan or credit product, make sure to do it within a short period of time, typically between 14 and 45 days. It minimizes your impact on your credit score. Let's now talk about credit mix. See, we're mixing all the colors here. See, what does red and blue come out to me? Purple. Try to make this funny. So credit mix affects 10% of your FICO score. Having a diverse mix of credit accounts, such as credit cards, loans, and a mortgage, can positively impact your credit score. Lenders want to see that you can handle a variety of credit types responsibly. Having a mix of credit accounts can show that you are able to manage different types of payments and that you're responsible for your credit. And tips for managing your credit risk: don't take on credit accounts you don't need or you can't afford, just to diversify your credit mix. So if you can't handle it, tell them you can't. Don't tell them, oh, I can do it, if you really can't. Make sure to pay all credit accounts on time and in full to maintain a positive payment history. Consider taking on different types of credit accounts over time to diversify your credit mix, such as a mortgage or a car loan in addition to credit cards. Don't close old credit accounts unless you have a specific reason to do so, as this can shorten your credit history and lower your credit score. I think that's the last one of our factors here. Yes, it is our last one of our factors. So now let's talk about student loans. Yes, I know no one wants to talk about student loans, and believe me, I don't want to talk about it. even though I don't have to pay any. But again, we have to talk about it because it is the workshop. So moving on. So apply for loans that have interest and fixed payments during college. Refinance private student loans. And there are some benefits for them. Lower interest rates, and there's one payment. Uno payment, uno más. Okay, now let's talk about debit cards and credit cards. I was going to do a separate workshop on these, but I thought it actually would fit nicely with the maintaining and building a FICO Score workshop. So I thought, include it in this one. So debit cards are not the same as credit cards. So let's make that clear. Debit card is not the same as credit cards. So if you think by getting a debit card, you're going to improve your FICO score, no, nada. It won't do anything. Well, debit cards may look similar to credit cards. They function differently. A debit card is linked directly to your checking account, and funds are immediately deducted from your account with each purchase. Debit cards do not affect your credit score because debit cards are not a form of credit. Using them does not impact your credit score. However, using a debit card responsibly can help you manage your overall finances and avoid overdraft fees or debt. Now, there are some pros of using a debit card. Like it can help you stay within your budget and avoid overspending. It can be used to withdraw cash from ATMs. It may offer some fraud protection and zero liabilities from unauthorized purchases. And the negatives of them are basically may not offer the same rewards or benefits as a credit card, may not have daily or monthly transactions limits, and may not offer the same protection as credit cards for dispute charges or fraud. All right, let's talk about credit cards now. This is going to be a doozy. So credit cards are a form of borrowing. When you use a credit card, you are borrowing money from a lender to make a purchase, and you need to pay it back with interest if you don't pay it off fully each month. Believe me, ask your parents. They all have credit cards. Trust me, they have some form of credit card. Like, I don't know if they have one. They might have four. You never know. Credit card usage affects your credit score. Using a credit card responsibly can help you build a positive payment history and improve your credit score. While mismanaging it, your credit score can harm your credit score. And there are some pros and cons of using both, of using it. It can help you build your credit if you use responsibly. They may offer rewards or cash back for purchases. You've probably seen those ads on TV or your phone or YouTube or wherever you watch our meetings on Rumble. I don't really think we get ads on Rumble, but we don't. I don't know why I just said that, but it can also offer fraud protection and dispute resolution for unauthorized purchases. And the cons of it, which basically can lead to debt and high interest charges and not responsibly. They may have high fees or penalties or late payments or the over the limit balances and may encourage overspending and impulsive buying. Again, please don't get in the habit of that because, again, there are people I do know in life that are addicted to credit cards. So please, if you're going to get a credit card, use responsibly. Please. So the differences between a debit and credit card, let's dispute this once and for all. Debit cards are linked to your checking account. Credit cards are a form of borrowing. Debit card does not affect your credit score, while credit card users can impact your credit score, positively or negatively, depending on how responsibly you use it. Debit cards deduct funds immediately from your account with each purchase, while credit cards allow you to make purchases and pay back the balance over time with interest. Debit cards may offer some fraud protection, but credit cards typically offer more extensive protection and benefits, such as rewards and cashback, traveling insurance, and purchase protection. Debit cards can help you manage your spending and avoid overspending or debt, while credit cards can be a useful tool for building credit and managing your finances if used responsibly. Let's now talk about first card recommendations. So for any of you or WMA club members who are interested in maybe getting a first credit card, here are some of our recommendations to get. And again, you don't have to take our word for it. You basically do what the hell you want. We ask your parents, but consider, kind of a second option. Us. So getting your first credit card will be an important step in building credit and managing your finances. Some options for first-time credit card users include secured credit cards, student credit cards, and credit card builder loaners. When choosing a first credit card, look for cards with low interest rates, no annual fees, and rewards that or benefits that align with your spending habits. And for tips for using your first credit card responsibly, basically start with a small credit limit and only use the card for purchases you can afford to pay off each month. Set up automatic payments to ensure you never miss a payment and avoid late fees. Monitor your credit utilization to keep it below 30% of your credit limit. Check your credit report regularly to ensure all information is accurate and dispute any errors you find. And here are some of our recommendations. And by the way, in this workshop, if you go to slide 36, which is this slide, I did include a link for first card recommendations. So if anyone wants to go more in depth about those, I did include that. But Some of the cards you recommend: Student Discover card, secure credit card, parent cosigner. Now, if you do a payment cosigner, just be aware that the parent's credit score will be impacted, not yours, which again, I highly advise do not do this one because it will affect your parent's credit score. And if you do not use it very well, then they're going to get pissed at you. So please don't use this. Capital One Platinum, Pedal 2 card, Capital One Quicksilver one, Open Sky, Discovery Secure Credit Card as other recommendations. All right, we're going to talk about the Snowball Theory. Now, if you probably remember when we talked about this back in Chapter 2 of our Workshop Spectacular, you may remember I did talk about both of these theories, the Snowball and the Avalanche Theory, in depth. But a Cliff Notes version of it, I will explain right now. So Snowball Theory is pay off debt in order from smallest to largest, gain momentum as you knock out each balance. When the smallest debt is paid in full, you roll the money you were paying on that debt into the next smallest balance. So the benefits of it: to freeze cash flow, an emotional mental boost. The disadvantage: you're paying more interest. The Avalanche Theory, though, on the other hand, like I talked about in Chapter 2, you pay off your debts in order from highest to lowest, regardless of balance. The benefit: you pay the least amount of interest, and the disadvantage: difficult to execute. And you're probably wondering, well, what theory is best? And again, I said this in Chapter 2, but I will say it again because why not? It depends on the situation and the individual concern. We recommend mixing the styles up. Very simple, point blank. So, right there. All right. Oh, wait. Did I not have this? Oh, wait. No, I did put this there. Okay. All right, sorry about that. All right, that should have been gone. But all right, let's talk about now tips to boost your credit score now. So know yourself and your spending habits. Start credit building early. Credit card every 6 months. Ask for a reasonable credit limit increase. Credit cards: if application is rejected, find out why and review the application. Make sure information is accurate. Make payment debt a priority, and don't bury yourself in debt. Believe me, if you don't want to bury yourself in debt, go to Chapter 2 of our Workshop Spectacular, and you'll hear about how to avoid that. Trust me. So, in conclusion, to Chapter 5 of our Workshop Spectacular, building and maintaining a good FICO score involves paying your bills on time, keeping your credit utilization low, maintaining a long credit history, managing new credit applications, and having diverse credit mix. It is important to monitor your credit score regularly to track your progress and identify any errors or potential fraud. You can check your credit score for free once a year at annualcreditreport.com, which again is not affiliated with the WMA Club at all, or sign for credit monitoring services offered by the 3 major credit bureaus or the other reputable companies, which I did talk about earlier in this workshop. Other resources for managing your credit and finance, including financial literacy courses, budgeting apps, and credit counseling services. By staying informed and proactive about your credit and finances, you can build a soft foundation for your financial future. And with that, that is the end of chapter number 5 of our Workshop Spectacular for building and maintaining a FICO Score workshop. Hope you guys all enjoyed this workshop as much as I did, because I had a lot of fun remaking this one. Hope the OGE board is proud of me for bringing this workshop back from the dead and making it alive again and making it all color and beautiful. So the next time we're going to see each other will be tomorrow. We will be going on to chapter 6, which will be asset protection. Yes, you want to make sure you protect your assets. Well, I'm going to talk about that all tomorrow. So with that being said, that is it. We will see you guys all tomorrow. Until tomorrow, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.